Hi, I'm Duncan, and I'd like to welcome you to my latest YouTube channel presentation. Today, I'll be looking at the film The Thing from Another World, a 1951 science fiction adventure. A lot of the things that you'll find in this movie will be considered today cliche. But so many instances in the cinema, they weren't cliche at the time. It's based on the book Who Goes There by John W. Campbell. This is a fairly modern print edition. I think it was written in either the 1930s or 40s. I've just started reading it, and it goes along at a very nice pace. It's ideal for a Howard Hawks production because Howard Hawks's work, the characters in the movies were very, very strong, and this book, the characters are again very strong and well defined. Now, Howard Hawks didn't direct this movie, he produced it. It's directed by a guy called Christopher Nyby, who was an editor on two classic movies in the 1940s, The Long Sleep with Humphrey Bogart and Lauren Bacall, and a little later on Red River, which was also a Howard Hawks production. And that was Red River with John Wayne and Montgomery Clift, I believe. After The Thing from Another World, he directed a few feature films, but his main contribution to the world of entertainment is to direct some very fine episodes of well-known TV series. And when he directed Thing from Another World, it comes across as a Howard Hawks production. There's no individual style that Nyby has actually come up with at the time. It's clearly got the Howard Hawks stamp all over it. And the same way that Steven Spielberg had his stamp all over Poltergeist, well, that was directed by Tobe Hooper. So that doesn't mean anything bad. It probably means that the director and producer in both instances worked very close together. Howard Hawks was often asked whether he had produced Thing from Another World and whether he had directed it, and he said no, it was Christian Nyby. And there's a wonderful scene in the movie that's very Hawks inspired, and that's a scene when they're looking at something that's happening in the film. It's about on the base where the things are starting to go wrong, and there's about 17 characters, all in the same viewfinder, all looking down at what's happening, and every one of them looks noticeable. And none of them are put in the viewfinder just to make up numbers. It's done so well. It's the way, similar way that when in the film In Which We Serve, you've got, how they did it, you've got Richard Attenborough's face in a crowd, and it's looking out at everybody. It's most prominent. But here is a slightly different thing, but it's everybody. About 17 people, all looking down, all filling the viewfinder really well. And that's what Howard Hawks' movies are about. They're about usually guys working together to solve a problem, and that's sometimes a woman can be challenging to the male the male ethos. I have to be careful what I say. The main character is Kenneth Tobey, who plays um, Captain Hendry, and Margaret Sheridan, who plays Nikki, the love interest. We've got James Arness, who plays the Thing. Still a few years before he gets his part as Matt Dillon in the very, very long TV series Gunsmoke. We've got Douglas Spencer as Scotty, the very kindly newspaper man who happens to find himself on the base. And he's a very nice guy, and there's quite a lot of humour goes attached to the character, because he's always trying to take a photograph of the monster when it comes on the scene. Usually doesn't work. And then we've got a very fine actor, Robert Launthwaite, I think he's pronounced, who plays Dr. Carrington, who's a very a man who has a lot of our respect, because he's trying to do everything he can to save the alien. The fact he's putting everybody's lives in jeopardy and danger doesn't seem to bother him much. But he's a good character, and he gets a good tribute from Scotty at the end of the film. The movie is now 70 years old, and it's been selected for a reservation in the US National Film Registry. That's a very, very great honour for a film. As I say, Hollywood was going to be inundated with monster movies from creatures from outer space and from under the sea for the next 20 years or so. But in this movie, a lot of things that were going to come out looking very cliche. But there was the first time here in this movie. A bit the same way that Stagecoach in 1939 had a lot of stuff in it that looked cliche today, but that was the first time. The movie just has a very, very good plot. It doesn't sit down for 1 minute. If you're not sure where, and all down the corridors, you know one character may be safe now, but where are the others? Where are they? And you're not quite sure what the layout of the base is either. So that gives you a bit confused if you were a visitor. When there's a very nasty scene in long shot of the Thing battling husky dogs, and the husky dogs don't come off too brilliantly. There's the famous line when they find out that the alien is made of vegetable substance. One of the characters says, "An intellectual carrot, the mind boggles." When the trailer exclaims, "A story of modern science that challenges imagination." And another famous line, "Keep watching the sky." That's from Scotty as he warns on the radio, as he talks about Noah, who saved the world in an ark, and they used a different ark to against the monster. I don't want to say anything more because I always pride myself in not giving out much of the plot, but it's a great movie, well worth watching if you can get the best quality print. I think there is a Blu-ray out, But a very good use of very fine cast. So that's The Thing from Another World, 1951. As I say, do have a look at it. I'm sure you'll enjoy it. If you liked what I've said, please hit the like button. If you'd like to subscribe to my channel, I'd love to have you aboard. If you want to forward this to a friend, then that'd be great as well. Anyway, you guys all take care. This is about the third or fourth attempt to do this because I made a complete hash of it. I haven't been very well, so I haven't done one for a blog for about almost a month. But hopefully I'll be back a bit sooner. But you take care, everybody. All right, God bless.